concerts. You know, the first concert we had back in '73 was James Gang, Lighthouse, Tim Buckley, and it lost like $6,000. The concert the student government put on, and then they followed that up with a concert with Mountain, the group, and that was only notable because this was over at the field house, the old field house, I guess, and so we're having the concert in the gymnasium, and then above it there was another floor where they were having some sort of an alumni dinner. I don't know whose idea it was to put both of these events at the same time, but of course you had, you know, hundreds of, you know, drunken high fans not knowing where the concert was and thinking that it was upstairs. So they're trying to kick in the doors, and I vividly remember Dykstra coming out and getting in the middle of all this and basically having some words with the student government concert chairman, or whatever he was called back then. And I don't think we had another concert for a very long time after that. Let's see. Well, there are other interesting things happen on the campus. You know, we had Jane Fonda show up, Tom Hayden, had the Virginia Slims tournament. That was pretty neat. R. Buckminster Fuller showed up. You know, Jane Fonda was interesting because I had to go. We all went out to Georgetown to interview her and take some photos of her. She was staying there at the time, and we got there, and for whatever reason, there was a scheduling conflict, and so we couldn't do it. But she was gracious enough to, the next day, drive to Annandale to go to this guy's apartment, where we all interviewed her and took photographs of her. And it turned out later there was also an undercover agent from some organization also at that event. And then when she showed up at George Mason and spoke, there were some protesters outside. I took some photos of them, and I know there were also some Asians from some organizations also in the audience, because they were pretty obvious the way they were dressed.
Stuck out a little.
Yeah, suits and ties and, well, looking like me.
Did you attend Mason Day?
Well, there was Mason Day, and then there was, what was the other one called? Patriots
Patriot
Day.
Day.
One in the spring and one in the fall.
Do
Yeah, we attended them all.
Now, do they still camp out the night before?
We
They
don't
don't.
camp out.
Yeah, do they do the concerts during Mason Day?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, so you get the concerts.
Actually, last year they brought in an entire carnival. We
Oh,
had
my.
rides up here in the parking lot, but they also coordinated it with Anil Cabrera's inauguration, the president's inauguration.
Oh,
So it was a really big deal. But they had you know, roller coasters and stuff all set up.
oh my. Well, no, they pretty much did it in that little field right in front of Robinson Hall.
Right.
We all kind of fit there.
Right, and of course the big draw was the free beer,
Yeah,
which
that was.
in this day and age seems a little strange.
That's, yeah, totally unthinkable
It
on
just
campus.
Just
poured
open.
like water.
And the biggest problem was not, our students. The biggest problem was keeping the high school students from the local high schools from coming in and getting the free beer. But like I said, at 18 you could go anywhere and get yourself a beer anyhow, so it wasn't quite the big deal it is now for college students to drink.
Both drive to campus?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, we
Had
had to. I
Had
was
to.
living in Manassas at the time, and so I was coming that way, and she was coming from Alexandria. But it wasn't that bad.
No, it was an easy
The commute was an easy one. There weren't that many stoplights. There weren't that many cars on the road compared to the way it is now.
Roberts Road was rural.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Cow
fly
fields.
down. Yeah, cowfields. I mean, seriously, it was very different.
Remember what you drove?
Oh, a Chevy Vega.
Oh.
Until it died, rest in peace.
Well, I had a '63 Cadillac convertible till it died,
Oh.
and then I got a Toyota Corolla. Big difference.